I'm gonna take you inside a Meta Ads account that we manage. We spent $33,000, generated 169 leads that resulted in $317,000 in trackable sales. That's a 9.42 ROAS. And beyond that, I know there was more sales and brand exposure that was also gained. Let's take a look inside the ad account and I'll show you everything step by step. So the ad account that we're looking at today is for a company called The Home Collective. They're here in Rochester, Minnesota, where we're based as well. They do flooring, countertops, and cabinets. These ads are specifically based on flooring, and so what we're gonna look at is the specific campaign that has driven those 169 leads. There are a lot of different campaigns that you can do inside Meta. You could go for reach, like trying to get in front of a lot of people. You can drive people to a landing page. What this is for something called an instant form. It's something inside Meta that people can fill out, answer questions, then put in their info, and then that gets submitted to us as the advertiser. After we figure out that campaign type, then we have to look at the ad set. We have to create the audience of who we're targeting, the inclusions, the exclusions, and make sure we have the right size audience and the right targeted audience for your business, your specific lead type. In this case, we're in a smaller market, so we need to target as many people as can, because unfortunately there's not a lot of people around here. So we're getting in front of around 200,000 to 250,000 people with this area that we've selected, which is a good amount, but not as many as we'd like. We'll get to more on that later. So this one generated 48 leads, and as you can kind of see, what we've seen work is kind of these casual videos with some action in it. We have a few of these in our warehouse. This is one of them. The top performing one was me and one of the designers at the store kind of talking about a product which was on sale. So there are two things I want to point out in this. One, we had action right away in the video. And two, it was a really specific call to action. It says 30% off our best-selling LVP. Well, that's a good headline that is going to grab someone's attention. The other thing to talk about is we have this video formatted right. We have a square version, we've got a vertical version, we've got big captions on it. We're really trying to make this pop for people. The next thing to look at is the call to action. So the call to action is get a quote. What we're offering is a free estimate. We're saying you can get a free measure, free estimate if you fill this out. When they do that, they are going to see this form right here. When they hit the get quote, they go right here. It says, get the flooring of your dreams. Let's set up a free measure and estimate with one of our experienced project managers. Then there's another question, kind of a qualifying question, so we can get a little more detail. What kind of product are you looking at? This is really nice because it lets the sales staff that gets this lead know specifically what they're there for. And then after that, we have it asking for their name, phone number, and email. We really like the phone number so that we can text, because that is honestly the best way to get in touch with these leads, is texting them. You could automate it, but we do it manually so that we can, if they come into the store otherwise, we can kind of keep track of all that. A few of our other top performers were from that same day that we did the top performing ad. We also did this ad, just kind of a funny movement, going back and forth in a chair with some big bold text on there. Some nice shots of carpet, as you can see. This one also makes sense why it works. It's movement and big bold, and she said stains and vomit, which is kind of funny. That stands out. And I like the headlines again. We call out money on this. So we say our best-selling carpet for $339. That is appealing because we've got best-selling for people here in Rochester, and we've got a price point on it straight away. So again, with our top two headlines, we notice that we've got some kind of number on there. So something to note when you're kind of setting up ads like this. All right, so we've seen the nuts and bolts of exactly how this looks and works. Now we're gonna spin it to Haley. She is our marketing strategist who manages and sets these up on a day-to-day basis. She has some key takeaways, key insights that I wanna share with you so that you understand how this could work for you.
There are 4 things that we look at when we are building out these campaigns. The first thing and the most important thing is the media type. So for most of our ads that we test, we run videos, and our sweet spot is to be around the 15-second mark, no longer than 30 seconds. We find that most people are actually only watching 5 seconds of our ads. So it's really important to have a really strong hook that gets people in and will have them fill out the lead. The second thing that's really important is testing new concepts. Our method is to test new concepts every 4 to 6 weeks, whether that's creating a whole new campaign or concept or iterating on something that we see is doing really well. The third thing to consider is the amount of creatives that you're running at one time. We like to stay around 4 to 6 ads live at all times, really gives some variety and ensures that we are not fatiguing on specific creatives. The fourth thing to consider is the audience size that you're targeting. So for the Home Collective, for example, being in Rochester, we run into an issue of the amount of people that we're able to actually serve ads to, which is why the first, second, and third things are so important, where we're constantly testing, we're iterating on new concepts, and we're ensuring that we have the right media mix in the campaign.
So let's talk about some other details which are important when doing a campaign like this. How do we get that ad, get it to the sales team, and get it in some automations as well? Well, simple Zapier. We're able to get this set up. Otherwise, you'd be in Facebook using their lead center. It's really annoying, didn't like it, that's why we did all this. So we've got a Facebook lead, comes in. Then that creates a deal into Pipedrive, which is the CRM the Home Collective uses. Then they're added into MailChimp as well. And then an outbound email, like a notification, goes out to the whole sales team of hey, this lead came in, let's try to talk to them as soon as possible. We just set up a really simple email automation that when someone comes in, they're dripped out emails. I believe it's once a day for the first few days, and then it goes to every other day with just some company culture, really cool projects that were completed. And so it gets that lead a little bit warmed up about what this company is all about and gets some good content in front of them. Nothing is salesy in that messaging. We're letting the sales team manually reach out with texts and calls to get in touch with that person that said, hey, I want a free measure. And we found that to be effective. All right, so that was all of the pros. We love an instant form campaign, but what are some of the cons? One, people will accidentally fill this out. Just want to straight up, you'll call someone and say, I didn't fill that out. Okay, that's fine. We kind of, just get them out of the system straight away. Two is your sales team, if this is not an automated outreach, will need to follow up a couple times. People don't answer right away. It might take 3-4 texts or phone calls before someone answers, and that's just a reality of sales, and when online leads come in, they take some work sometimes to get that measure set up. Other times, it's the first text. So there is that spectrum to be aware of when working a lead like this. I know I started saying this was a 9.42 ROAS, which is absolutely amazing, right, for a local business like this. The other thing is there's a lot of anecdotal evidence that is probably way higher. These, in a sense, were the Home Collective's billboards that were going out every single day, spending around $175 to $100 a day. So they're out there every day and people were seeing them. And so a lot of the traffic that was attributed to walk-ins in the CRM as a lead source, there was probably some Facebook involved in that as well, to warm up that lead, to get them exposed to the brand before they walked in the store on their own. So, there's one thing, we love that trackable ROAS, but there's also some other benefits which aren't directly trackable, but for a business like this, which are very real and very important when you do this consistently over time. We've hit folks a number of times in our area with this message. So really good kind of side benefit. So that's how an instant form campaigns works. You've seen inside the ads account, you've seen the Zapier and the automations outside of it, how it works. Honestly, I believe in this method. I've seen it work over a long period of time now for clients, and it might be right for you. If you've struggled to get good qualified leads in, to track your ad spend, to track your marketing, this is a great method to test. If you want help getting this set up, if you want us to manage it, make you some awesome creative like you saw earlier, let us know. We'd love to help.